First at 4, did the Postmaster General just surrender in the politically charged battle raging at the U.S. Post Office? We've got the latest information. Good afternoon, Ben.
Karen, good afternoon. We've been dealt a very pleasant pair of 70s, but find out what other cards are left in the deck for the weekend. Paula?
How love lights the path. A local nurse goes from healthcare hero to patient back to healthcare hero on the front lines of COVID. I'll have her inspiring but chilling story.
And later, she spelled it out in gold. What we've learned about the Michelle Obama fashion choice that has many people hitting Google. I admit, I did it myself. It's all next, First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, the nation's Postmaster General is backing down on the recent policy changes within the U.S. Postal Service. This afternoon, Postmaster General Louis DeJoy announced all changes will be suspended until after the November 3rd election. This comes as 20 states, including Michigan, announced plans to file federal lawsuits. Retail hours at post office will not change. Mail processing equipment and blue collection boxes will remain in place. Now, concerns about the post office and mail-in ballots have Michigan's congressional delegation vowing to defend the agency. Before the postmaster's new statement, at least 8 mail sorting machines have been removed in Detroit, Pontiac, and Grand Rapids. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson says that must be addressed.
Words are great. I'm looking for action, and we'll continue to hold their feet to the fire to ensure the action is following the words, and also that the changes that have already been made are rectified, because the removal of the processor machines in and of themselves creates a significant backlog that still needs to be addressed.
The Postmaster General is set to testify before a Senate committee on Friday and the House Oversight Committee next week. Detroit police are looking for clues after a woman's body is found inside of a burning car. Firefighters made the discovery this morning in the area of Woodmont Avenue and Ellis Street. That's on the city's west side. They found a car that had been set on fire. Then they discovered the woman's body in the trunk. At this time, police have not identified her or the cause of death. The suspect in a deadly shooting over in EASTPOINTE has now been found dead in Detroit. The deadly chain of events started around 8 last night on Linwood near East 9 Mile in Gratiot. Investigators say a man opened fire on a group standing on a porch of a home. A 24-year-old man was shot and killed there. 6 hours later, officers found the alleged shooter now shot to death in the area of West Chicago and Burwood in Detroit. We've got a crew working through this whole investigation. We'll be piecing together the pieces of this puzzle, and the report airs tonight at 5. It's one of the biggest decisions in a democracy. Now, 13 Michigan residents have been selected to redraw the state's congressional and legislative boundaries. The new commission features 4 Republicans, 4 Democrats, and 5 independents. They were selected at random from a pool of more than 9,000 applicants. 3 of the 13 members are non-white, which is roughly in line with the state's population. The commission was created in a 2018 ballot measure to do away with partisan gerrymandering. President Trump is offering a blistering review of a speech given by former First Lady Michelle Obama at the Democratic National Convention. It's another sign of how heated the 2020 campaign will be. Kimberly Gill with the latest. And Kim, President Trump is not holding back.
You're right, Karen. Good afternoon to you. The gloves are coming off on both sides, actually. Former First Lady Michelle Obama told Democrats and all Americans it's time for a change. Her message was simple and direct. She says President Trump isn't up to the job.
If you take one thing from my words tonight, it is this. If you think things cannot possibly get worse, trust me, they can and they will if we don't make a change in this election.
The former First Lady urged people to get out and vote and give Joe Biden a victory in numbers that cannot be ignored. Today, President Trump blasted the speech because it was on tape instead of live, calling it outdated and saying any positive reviews are just wrong.
She didn't even mention the vice presidential candidate in the speech. And, you know, she gets these fawning reviews. If you gave a real review, it wouldn't be so fawning. I thought it was a very divisive speech, extremely divisive.
The convention continues tonight with speakers former President Bill Clinton and Joe Biden's wife, Dr. Jill Biden. And you can watch NBC's coverage right here on Local 4 starting tonight at 10 p.m. And we will also be covering the Republican convention, which happens next week. For now, Karen, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you, Kim. Now, if we had to vote on the best weather, I think this kind of summer day would definitely win by a landslide. Started off a little cool, warmed up a little bit, but not too hot. Let's bring in meteorologist Ben Bailey with what we can expect for the rest of the day. Hey, Ben.
Yeah, Karen, it is definitely a winner because of not only the temperatures, but because the humidity is so low, too. That's been a big factor in this, and just enough clouds out there to make it interesting, but the sunshine is definitely finding its way around those. Current numbers are in the mid-70s. Remember, averages this time of year are in the low 80s. So this looks like it is going to be the coolest day of the forecast, plus those winds out there, the north to northwest at 10 to 15. So it is a noticeable cool breeze. We'll slide into the 60s through midnight tonight, and eventually most of us are going down to the 50s, but there are 40s in the 4-zone forecast for lows tonight. We'll check out who gets those and how much longer this coolness is going to stick around when we see you again in a few minutes. Karen?
All right. Thank you, Ben. Governor Whitmer is giving the Detroit region mixed reviews when it comes to COVID-19. Up first, the state is reporting 477 new cases in the past 24 hours. That's an encouraging sign, as we had seen higher numbers in recent weeks. 15 deaths have been added to the total, although 7 of those came from a review of vital records. The governor tells Local 4 she is watching the numbers in Metro Detroit closely, and the focus of her concern has shifted.
The city of Detroit's numbers are down. They're the lowest in the whole Detroit region. Macomb County is very concerning to us right now. We're concerned about Oakland County and out Wayne County and Monroe for that matter. But the city of Detroit has really crushed these numbers, and we're really pleased about that. But I think the whole rest of the region is a place that we are watching very closely.
As the U.S. continues to struggle to contain the virus, health officials warn a higher level of commitment will be needed to lower case counts. Dr. Frank McGeorge here with a closer look at where one top expert says Americans are falling short.
In some ways, it's our American sense of freedom that has hampered our ability to contain COVID-19 more effectively. Dr. Deborah BIRX says right from the start, our version of a lockdown was lacking.
I wish that when we went into lockdown, we looked like Italy. But when Italy locked down, I mean, people weren't allowed out of their houses. And they couldn't come out but once every 2 weeks to buy groceries for 1 hour, and they had to have a certificate that said they were allowed. Americans don't react well to that kind of prohibition.
BIRX warned the majority of community spread in the U.S. is now from social gatherings. She cautioned people to stop assuming their family and friends don't have the virus.
Tens of thousands of lives can be saved if we wear masks and we don't have parties in our backyards.
Convincing Americans it's worth the sacrifice, an ongoing challenge.
When you're asking people to change behavior, you have to meet them where they are. And so I've tried to really carry the message of this is what we know works, and this is what we know will stop the cases of the virus.
Dr. BIRX also said she's seeing rising levels of COVID fatigue, with Americans becoming increasingly weary of restrictions with no clear end in sight. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Doc. Now we know that healthcare workers have courageously worked to fight the virus and keep people alive. Today, a personal story from one of those healthcare workers. Paula TUTMAN introduces us to a COVID nurse who became a COVID patient and her fight to become a nurse again. Paula?
Hey, Karen, you know, when I heard about this nurse, I knew that I really wanted to meet her simply because of what she's been through. And it really does just encapsulate exactly what's going on and what's at stake for these workers on the front line.
In the beginning, there was a lot of scrambling because we knew very little about the virus in particular.
Just as the school shut down, just as we were getting to know an unwelcome guest named COVID-19.
One day we went to work and the hallways were clear. We were taking care of regular patients. And then the next week, it was just everything in the hallways. How do we contain everything? How do we keep our patients safe? And how do we keep ourselves safe?
Monique Morris, a healthcare hero, a nurse at Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit, was about to confront the virus literally face to face.
We had gowns and we had masks and things like that, but we did not know that when we were taking care of these patients while we were giving them breathing treatments, that we were actually aerosoling the virus, and it was becoming airborne at that time. So even though we were wearing the proper equipment, to the best of our knowledge, what we knew at the time, I got hyper exposed taking care of a patient that needed breathing treatment before being transferred to the ICU.
And before she knew it, she went from hero to helpless and became a patient herself. The sickest of the sick, just inches from death's door. A newlywed of barely 8 months as she lay dying, suffocating in her own body, alone with her fading thoughts.
There's so many things and, dreams that we were already expounding upon. We were trying to start a family and all those things. And all I could think of was, I'm not going to make it back to that if I don't fight harder. I don't make it back to him. I don't make it back to kind of trying to finish those dreams. That soul feeling of that separation from my husband at the time, I felt like I needed to get back to him. I couldn't leave this world and leave him alone.
It's been more than 5 months, and Monique has miraculously cheated death. And though still recovering physically from bouts of exhaustion, the fogginess of what she calls COVID brain, still mastering the no longer simple task of walking, she has faced her victimizer and come out the victor.
Hi, Cassandra. Hey, how are you guys?
She's returned to work and retaken her place amongst the heroes who saved her to become one of them again.
Now, every time I go through those doors, it's just a sense of gratefulness. A sense of gratefulness knowing that every time I get the opportunity to take a breath and take a step forward, it's just a blessing within it.
I cannot imagine what it was like for her the first time she walked back in those doors. But she's on the mend. She's back in the fight, Karen. She is just one of thousands of true heroes.
Now, Paula, you did mention her mastering walking again. In terms of long-term effects, what does she still struggle with day-to-day, things that she has to do? How do things stand there?
Do you know what? A lot of it is a struggle. She was actually on a walker for a long amount of time, and now she's off that walker. But I think it's fair to say that she has to rebuild who she is physically, because this disease attacks you in so many ways that are simply, you can't simply prepare for them.
Right. We simply don't know the long-term effects either. Paula, thank you so much for sharing that story. What a strong woman. True hero. Still ahead. First at 4. Thank you, Paula. Damage control at the Ellen DeGeneres Show. What the host is telling her staff about a toxic backstage scandal. Also, could COVID money troubles actually help a discount retailer make a comeback? Up first, fighting back. This world leader has a message for President Trump today. News from around the